Winter sketching is great fun. It's a fantastic opportunity to catch beautiful transient light that's full of atmosphere and feeling. But it's undeniably cold, so I'm going to share with you a few of my hints and tips that I've learned over the past 35 years of working out in cold, challenging environments. And please, if you enjoy this video and perhaps want to see more, hit the subscribe and the like buttons. So here are my 15 hints and tips for sketching outside in the winter. First one is obvious. It is have two hats. You can regulate your heat, and also it's somewhere you can stick your brushes. The next tip is a bit counterintuitive, but make sure you always take coloured paper. Why? Well, the first thing is it can be really bright even on overcast days, and also you can get glare off the snow. So you want to have mid-tone coloured papers that you take with you so that you do not suffer from glare, and also because you can work very fast using light and dark colours. That means you can work quickly, and that is incredibly important when you're getting cold and you want to finish in a hurry. So the next one's really important, especially on windy days. Elastic bands. Some people use bulldog clips, but you want to have them so that you can put them over your sketchbook and stop all your precious paper and artwork from flying away in the wind. Oh! When you come out, you want to look at the weather forecast, obviously, but that's not always great. It just gives you a general picture. What you want is a Weatherfront app that you load on your phone, and it will give you up to the minute warnings of when a front of weather is coming through and when you need to hurry up and finish your artwork. So what do you do when it starts to rain and you're in the middle of a painting? Well, perhaps you just take a big waterproof jacket with you so you can put it over yourself, take a tarpaulin, or look online at fishing supplies and get yourself something like this. Well, hopefully you're dry, but what happens if it's windy? Make sure you take some rope and some pegs so that you can secure your shelter down to the ground. The next thing I want to talk about is just keeping your hands warm. You really need to keep these working. So I use sawn off mittens like this. These are great. These are angling mittens. They keep your hands warm and they've got a flap. So in between times, you can cover them. These are great, but you want some hand warmers as well. I recommend any kind of these disposable single-use chemical hand warmers. You can buy them online. You can just stick them in your rucksack and use them as and when you need them. You pop them inside your mittens and they keep you toasty warm. Well, that's keeping your working hands warm, but what about your feet? I found that if you can keep your feet warm, then the rest of you stay warm as well. So I use these waterproof socks. Again, you can get them online. They are fantastic. They're really well insulated and they keep your feet dry. And you'll remember I told you about the chemical hand warmers. Well, you get the same thing specially designed for feet. So you can stick these in your waterproof socks and you'll feel nice and warm. So I need to tell you about safety. It's really important that when you go out, you let somebody know where you are and when you're expected back. And remember, if your plans change, keep them updated. Because you're sitting still, you're losing body heat very rapidly, and because you're preoccupied with what you're working on, then it's very easy to lose track and not notice that you're cold until you're very cold indeed. So it's very important that you keep checking yourself and making sure you're not getting too cold, because even a light case of hypothermia can make you feel really grotty for a couple of days. So pay attention to yourself and take care. You'll find when it's getting very cold that your paint actually begins to freeze up as soon as you're mixing it, and straight away when you put it on the paper. And even when it gets really cold, it'll freeze in your water jug. A good way to counteract that is to simply mix your water that you're painting with some alcohol. And my preference is just for a little bit of vodka. It just needs a splash, not very much. It just stops the water from freezing. One of my particular concerns when sketching outside in winter is finding somewhere comfortable to sit. My greatest hint on that is knowledge. Think about where you're going. Think of places which are going to be sheltered in the weather conditions that you face. Whenever I go anywhere, even in the summer, I think, if I came back here again, is there somewhere sheltered that I could go to sit and sketch? So great, you found a sheltered spot. Now you need somewhere comfortable to actually sit down. So I take something with me. Always think of this in advance. Sometimes I take one of these rucksacks, which turns into a folding seat. Another really good option, which is far more versatile, is one of these. It's an inflatable air pillow. It's incredibly handy because you can just stuff it in your rucksack and then take it out and blow it up when you need it. Fair warning though, if you puncture this, then you end up with nowhere comfortable to sit for the whole day. And as a lightweight option, I reckon these inflatable sitting pillows are the most comfortable by far. But probably the most versatile thing to use for seating are these foam mats. They're hiking accessories. They're a bit thin, but you can get a couple of them and just sandwich them together. And what's more, they don't puncture and deflate. The other obvious way of keeping yourself warm is to raise your core temperature and take a flask of hot water with you. That can be used for painting as well if the mixing water is beginning to freeze. But I would highly recommend taking a couple of things with you that can really boost your energy level when you're out and beginning to get cold. And over years of experience, I found that is cup of soup. I highly recommend the croutons, and also packets of instant hot chocolate. And most importantly, make sure that you stay warm. So perhaps the best thing you can take with you, if you have the space and are able to carry it, is a lightweight hot water bottle like this. You can stick it down your jumper and it will keep you very warm all day. And this one's definitely a favourite hot water bottle of mine. Another key safety thing is that the days in winter are short. Now you might end up coming back when it's dark, your plans may change, it may take you longer after finishing a particularly wonderful piece of art to get back to the car or wherever you're going. So remember, take a head torch. That means you can walk safely. And most importantly, take spare batteries. Well, there we go. That's my 15 hints and tips for painting outside in winter. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons. And until the next time, goodbye.